concluded our executive session.
The council discussed personnel-related issues, received advice from the solicitor. No decisions were made.
Okay.
Sorry, my mic is still. I'm done.
Okay, so moving forward.
All for a vote?
All right. RJ, roll call.
There's no more discussion?
He just called a vote.
Okay, so this is a vote to accept Mr. Avery's resignation. Mr. Amendola,
No.
Mr. Kraus,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Ms. Glosser,
Yes.
Ms. Damitz,
Yes.
Mr. Rosario,
Yes.
Mr. Lavasser.
Yes. All right, moving forward. A motion to approve the proposal from ClearGov to provide an online project management and tracking platform to the public for borough infrastructure projects. This proposal includes an option to expand the service agreement to include financial and budgeting information in 2020 pending council approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? May I ask a question?
Yeah.
This agreement does not bind us to a multi-year contract. correct?
Nope, the way that they wrote it was very specific. You know, we have some wiggle room basically if we don't approve the final, expansion of the service for the 2020 budget cycle, the agreement just ends. And we can let them know, I think it's within 60 days, I'd have to go back and check, but I mean, it's a pretty short window in which we can just exit the contract.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Moving forward to Public Works, a motion to authorize the purchase of a modern super paver from PaveRight at a cost of $11,000. This purchase will be paid for out of the annual liquid fuels distribution.
So moved. Seconded.
Any discussion?
Is this a new one, used, or?
So,
It's a used paper. What it is, it's a little bigger and heavier than the one that we have currently. We purchased the paper we have now for $6,000. My expectations is probably, once we put on out for bid, I guess next meeting will come to council with authorization to do this. But I really feel and believe that we'll probably get at least the 6,000 back after it. The guys worked on it. It's well maintained. Just a little bit too light duty for what we needed for it on the streets. Paver that we're gonna get off of this company, we're gonna be training involved with the paver. He's gonna give us some guidance on it, then he repairs and maintenance that he's done on it. He will share his expertise on it. I think it's something that will help supplement the road program. I'd like to do a few tertiary streets or alleys that we couldn't get on the road program this year. We already purchased a milling machine 2 years ago that we can use to help expedite the resurfacing of some of the, mostly the alleys. A couple up, like we call them up on a hill, 2 locations there, and some of those alleys we want to get off of McMunn. Those are places we want to start on. So those are, that's what the plan is. Again, we tested the paver. I went out with my crew, the people who are going to be operating it. I think it'll be a good value and good buy for the borough. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's something I think will be a real asset to the department and the borough.
And we'll have, this will be ready to go, and
As soon as we write the check, we can go pick it up. We already have a trailer we use for the paper we have. So, and then we're coming back to council for authorization to sell not only our paper that we bought, but the one that was bought previously. We're gonna put them both out to bid. The one that Bobby Friday worked with the borough. So we're gonna put 2 papers out for bid, and they'll probably pay for themselves. Or pay for this paper.
all right. Thank you. Hearing no other questions or comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Motion to concur with SHACOG to award the bid for the joint municipal O&M CCTV inspections and cleaning year 9 to the low bidder State Pipe Services as recommended by the borough engineer. Crafton's share of the contract is $39,197.50.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All that opposed? Motion carries. Moving forward, motion to advertise the acceptance of bids for the 2019 O&M sewer repairs contract A excavation repairs as prepared by the borough engineer. Bids will be accepted at the borough administrative office through May 21st, 2019, 10 a.m. prevailing time.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All that opposed? Motion carries. Motion to advertise the acceptance of bids for the 2019 O&M sewer repairs, Contract B, lining repairs as prepared by the borough engineer. Bids will be accepted at the borough administrative office through May 21st, 2019, 10 a.m. prevailing time.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All that opposed? All right, thank you. Motion passes. Moving on to seasonal hires. Motion to approve the resolution number 2019-04, setting the wages for summer seasonal part-time positions for the Crafton Pool and Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
The wages are
Okay.
as,
Yeah.
that were going to go in the way they would be allowed to put them in
Yeah,
at.
yeah, they are.
Right?
They are.
Yep. All right.
Oh, actually, there's a coordinator on here that doesn't need to be on here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, that was just
Yeah,
on
no.
the old resolution,
Yeah,
so
no,
I
that
didn't really
doesn't.
know.
Do you want to strike that?
Yeah, we can just cut it out.
Procedurally, do we need to do anything
As long
beyond
as
that?
the motioner and the seconder agree, we can strike that.
Yeah, I would, that's a good,
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. I can move forward with the vote, right? All in favor?
Aye.
All that opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve the 2019 seasonal hires list for, hold on. Okay. Motion to approve the 2019 seasonal hires list for the Crafton Pool and the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I just want to say, good job to the team that worked on this. I know everybody in the office, plus Marcia and Coletto did a great job. I heard only wonderful things, so thanks for the teamwork, really appreciate it.
Do you want to mention who bought the pool manager?
Yeah, actually, she's here, right? Angela? Angela Palchowski's back on board. So, thank you for stepping up to the plate. It's a big, big job. And I think you'll have a good crew working underneath you. So, thank you for taking on the challenge. All right. Moving forward with the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All that opposed? All right. Motion passes. Thank you. I see no discussion items. I'm going to move forward with community announcements. American Legion Bingo Nights, Friday nights at the American Legion, Post 145 on Cornell Ave. We have our Community Cleanup Day, April 27th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Volunteers for the litter pickup can meet at the Crafton Library for supplies and donations. Dumpster for bulk waste will be at the Crafton Park entrance. For more information on accepted materials, please call the Borough administrative staff. I urge everybody to take an opportunity to do some spring cleaning here. It's an awesome opportunity not to have to go down to Waste Management or have to go to Keys Rocks and get a flat tire with the transfer facility. So take advantage of this opportunity. Public Works is more than helpful, and they do a great job of helping you all. Moving forward with the Real ID info session. If anybody has Savvy Citizen, you probably saw that come across, hosted by Representative Dan Deasy and Senator Wayne Fontana. That's going to be here in the community center next door, Thursday, April 25th, 2019, 6:30 PM to 8 PM in the Crafton Community Center. So they're gonna talk about the real ID. You're gonna need a real ID if you wanna get through TSA. So if you're flying, you need this. If not, you're gonna need passport or a passport card. So I urge you to go get your IDs updated. Pennsylvania is one of the last to get this taken care of. So consider yourself lucky that you had so long to get the new ID, but you're gonna need it if you're gonna travel with just a driver's license. And then we had the shred event moved to May 4th. That's not on here, but that came across this afternoon on Savvy Citizen. I saw
Yes, yeah, that's correct. I apologize that I didn't make it on here.
Yeah. All right, and what, do we have the time?
For the, hang on, I'll tell you in just a second.
Yeah, she can bring it up. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. That's a great function that our representatives put on for us, and a lot of people use it. And with this day and age, with
It is 8 to 11 a.m.
take this seriously. If you have things to be shredded, this is a good service, because identity theft is real. People in my family have been a victim of it. People go through your trash. When I moved out of my apartment in Austin, Texas, and I threw a bunch of stuff out, they got a hold of a piece of documentation of my wife, and it ended up being a problem for us. So I really do urge you to take advantage of the opportunity, if you don't have a shredder at home, to take advantage of this commercial type setup that they'll have here. Moving forward to additional citizen comments. I didn't see anybody in the list, but if there's anybody here that has anything to say, this is your moment to raise your hand. And I don't see anybody, so we're gonna.
I do. I was waiting for you to stop speaking.
Oh,
Sorry. I didn't realize I had to sign that paper for additional citizen. I thought that that was just for agenda topics, so. All right.
You will need to provide your name.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
address.
no problem. I'm still prepared. All right. My name's Amanda Argauer. I'm at 534 Willard Avenue. 2 weeks ago at the council meeting, Mr. Amendola stated to Mr. Kraus, "You brought 5 or 6 people in for their opinions in relation to the hiring of a new officer." Even though every fiber of my being wanted to stand up after that comment and correct Mr. Amendola, I chose not to. The reason being is that I choose my words not out of anger, but out of facts and deliberate thought. Do you have such little respect for those outside of your own demographic that you think that a female or a gay man— I do.
Do I have to sit here and
This is
listen to
our time
this
to speak.
abuse?
Or a gay man might have an opinion without first consulting someone like Mr. Kraus? Your fearmonger, Mr. Amendola, allow me to correct your thought from 2 weeks ago.
Repeated 2 weeks ago. I've heard this all already. I'm a fearmonger, I'm a bullier. I don't think I have to take this.
This is public comment. Any member of the public can comment, so please continue.
Well, I'm gonna respond to it.
I hope you do. Brad didn't bring me here. The thought that you and your assessment of the need to hire an additional officer, which was nothing more than the first blip of information that pops up on a Google search, is what brought me here. The potential for you to be the only voice to speak for the officers that I've had nothing but respectful interactions with is what brought me here. Your fear-mongering statements 2 weeks ago were disgraceful. You stated that you'd like to see a resource officer implemented. Generally, a bad guy doesn't go to high schools where he's going to get resistance from bigger kids. He targets smaller schools where the little kids are. Well, in 2018, 70% of school shootings happened in high schools and colleges. Your game playing with statistics is dangerous and misleading. And statistics, unfortunately, for your point, can go both ways. Did you know that research has shown that some culturally diverse students have reported feeling less safe when a resource officer is present? Did you know that there have been 29 incidents where the school shooter was actually a resource officer? Did you know that the definition of a school shooting actually includes unintentional discharges of a weapon? And in 2018, the year that you mentioned is the worst ever for school violence, 18 of those shootings were unintentional discharges. And hey, maybe a resource officer is a good idea. I'm certainly not against the notion. Did you know that in 2017, the Department of Education and the Department of Safe Schools offered grants to municipalities designed to provide funds to enable the placement of a resource officer into public schools across the Commonwealth? Or did your research into this subject start when you decided a new officer should be hired? This is my friend Rob Weinbrenner. He's a retired police officer at Barberton, Ohio. Next to him is his son, Justin Weinbrenner, also a police officer. On November 16, 2014, Justin, also a police officer, was off duty hanging out with his friends at a bar. Not yet.
That's 3 minutes.
Do I get additional time for when he interrupted me?
Yes, 3
Thank you.
And you're not done
minutes.
yet.
A bar owned by his fiancee. A man who had been asked to leave the establishment earlier in the night returned and started arguing with the staff. During the argument, that man pulled out a gun and Justin was shot and killed. This is my husband's cousin, Sergeant Jeff Wheaton. On January 11, 2018, Jeff took the evening of his birthday off for work. That night, his team of officers stood in the parking lot in their headquarters, planning to hunt down a murder suspect who had killed his wife the night before. Before they left, that murder suspect walked into the same parking lot and ambushed the team, shooting one of the officers. Now Jeff lives with the guilt of not being there to support his team, along with the body cam footage of the whole episode unfolding. 2 weeks ago, you made a sweeping generalization that voting against the hiring of a new officer was being anti-police.
That's exactly
I
correct.
I recommend knowing your audience before your next off-the-cuff comment. I can't speak
That's
for,
4 minutes now,
can't and won't
Mr.
speak for
President.
the others that you offend with your behavior and comments, but my vote in support or non-support of issues is based in fact, not the poorly conducted research of an ex-cop. Thank you for the extra time.
Thank you.
Well, it's not so poorly researched.
We have some order on the floor.
Can I respond to that? I want to respond to that. I'm not going to sit here and be humiliated by candidates that are under your wing and under his wing,
This isn't a forum for
and
that, Mr.
everybody's
President.
running around like a
adjourn
bunch
the
of
meeting.
sheep.
Thank you.
So I want to respond.
Go ahead. Your constituents there for you to speak with.